Hi, this is Lynn Oz, and I have Colin with Noble Gold with me today. Hello, Colin. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Hi, Lynn. How are you? Thank you.
I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to spring here, that's for sure. And we're just starting to get some of that weather. I've had enough with the winter cold already. What about you?
Yes, yeah, it's starting to warm up here too. It's very nice. Time change was good, and it's nice to be out a little bit later and being able to enjoy the beautiful weather. So I'm in the same boat.
Very, very true. I can't wait. So, JP Morgan, well, there was an article that came out about, I don't know, earlier this month, and JP Morgan is anticipating the stock market is going to crash at least 40% in the next year or two, if not sooner. And this is very serious, and I'm just amazed that they even came out and said that. Uh, do you care to give some details on this? Because I think that's pretty important.
I think for the co-president of JP Morgan to come out with an honest revelation about the stock market and what he believes was, I think, was in a lot of people's eyes was shocking because really they have no incentive to motivate anyone to move out of the stock market. That's their business, and so I think he sees that the economy is ballooned, that it's too fat right now. It doesn't make sense, and really a lot of it has to do with just budget. The budget of the United States is overblown. We're in tremendous debt. They just raised interest rates again about a week and a half ago, and the Fed said they're going to raise interest rates two more times, which is going to affect all homeowners, anybody that has any lines of credit, any kind of debt is going to get more expensive. And so basically they're bracing themselves and kind of letting people know that if we see that big correction, that they warned everybody. They gave them kind of a warning shot that these things could happen. And I think the economy, the stock market is just bloated. It doesn't make any sense for it to be this expensive right now.
No, and people have been warning for quite some time now that something like this is about to happen, that we're going to have an economic crisis, and people just don't seem to be taking this seriously enough, but yet the reports that we're getting just keep getting worse and worse and worse. In fact, Toys R Us filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection.
Hmm.
And that was just last year in mid to end September. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
getting worse.
yeah. Basically, they filed Chapter 11 last year, and then they just came out a few weeks ago and said that they are going to be fulfilling that bankruptcy. They're going to be closing all their stores. So if you have a Toys R Us or a Babies R Us gift card, you want to go ahead and get that used before. I think they have another week or two that you can use those. But in essence, what's happening is when you see the big box retailers. I mean, Toys R Us is, everybody remembers them as a kid going there and the joy to be able to buy toys and experience that, and the jingle, the Toys R Us jingle. I mean, all these staples that we remember growing up, so many of them are going to be wiped away, and a lot of it has to do with what's going on with the way people buy things, but also the big thing is just the way that our debt is set up, the way that everybody is unfortunately just expanded their bankroll in terms of what's coming in and what's going out is putting them in a bad situation. For instance, and we have this report that we're going to send to people for free, but the U.S. debt actually is much higher than what everybody talks about. It's actually close to about $100 trillion, not the 20 trillion that they report, which obviously 20 trillion is scary as is. But the U.S. debt, if you look at all the unfunded liabilities, Medicare, Medicaid, all the money that we owe China, India, all the BRIC countries, is about 100 trillion in unfunded liabilities. So if you and I, we had our finances, and we dealt with it in the way that they're dealing with it, we'd be out of business and broke. The U.S. government just continues to print money, and Congress and everybody just keeps sliding things under the rug. But things are not okay. We're in a bad situation, and we need to get our house in order, and we need to get our finances in order. And that's why during this time period, we tell people, look what you're invested in, look at your finances, and make sure that you're invested in something tangible, gold and silver, something that's safe during these tumultuous economic times.
That's for sure. I can't encourage people enough to get prepared and get ready. I'm telling people all the time. And of course, I get the comments from people, I don't need to because I'm not going to be here. And for people with that mentality, I just want to say to you, what about your loved ones who are? And I'm speaking there from a religious perspective, because I have a lot of people who believe in this, the pre-tribulation rapture, and they say, well, I'm not going to be here, so I don't need to prepare for anything. But in that belief, you are going to have loved ones, friends, coworkers, and things like that who will be here, and you need to prepare for them. And then, of course, I get the commentators who use that verse from the Old Testament. I think it's Ezekiel or something about throwing your gold in the streets. And I commented on this in our last recording together, and I will say it again. That verse is talking about God's judgment on these people who were worshiping idols, making idols out of gold and silver. And he was telling them, when my judgment comes upon you, your gold and silver idols that are man-made aren't going to save you from what's coming. He's not talking about money or gold and silver in relation to being able to survive. So I just want to point that out to the people. Time is short. There's great things that are about to happen, I believe. And in fact, I was explaining to you, Colin, about the upcoming revival that I have going on. And God has told me and confirmed through other people that I believe wholeheartedly that judgment is coming shortly thereafter. And now I'm not speaking on behalf of Noble Gold. That's what Lindley Oz, me, what I feel I've been told. And I think it's time for people to prepare for sure. And I think that your organization, I love you and Charles. You guys are Christians. And that's why I have you guys as a sponsor, because that's very important to me. And you guys have a great heart. And I get feedback from my listeners all the time who do business with you, who give me good reports. And that's also very important to me. So, what is it that Noble Gold can do for the people to help them during these times and to be prepared for the days ahead of what's coming upon us?
Well, in terms of what we do as a company, we help people get physical metals, whether it's in an IRA or if they have an old 401k, we help them acquire it safely. We can store the metal for them if they want, or they can get the metal delivered to their doorstep. But really, with the economic situation that we're in, we make an easy way for them to roll these accounts over. A lot of people have most of their net worth tied up either in the stock market or bonds, and they don't remember, they forget about what happens when the market collapses, like 2008 or 2001 or 1994. I mean, history always repeats itself. And so there's going to be a correction. JP Morgan president said there's going to be. So we give people a way to diversify some of the money so they don't have all their eggs in one basket. They're moved into something that can protect themselves. And typically gold and silver do very well during times of inflation. And I think more than anybody, inflation is here. The cost of goods is getting more and more expensive. The government says inflation is 2% per year, but I think everybody knows it's much higher. Anytime you buy anything, anytime I buy anything, food or gas or like anything you look at, the prices are going up exponentially. So we give them a hedge against those types of things so they can continue to live the way that they want to live, and they continue to have that buying power. That's what gold and silver does. It keeps your buying power so that you can cover all the things that you need. And a lot of people do call us to prepare for their family. People tell us all the time, I'm buying this for my kids, my grandkids, and we can help them accomplish that too. And they feel great once they're able to do it. It's a great thing to pass on to kids and family members. They love it. Every time they do it, people feel great about it. So, as a family business, it's important that, people that watch this, they know they can call us. We help them through the process. It's easy. I think people are shocked how easy it is. And we really give people a lot of good information. Sometimes people call and it doesn't work out or it doesn't make sense. But I think no matter what, when they call in, they get a lot of good information. We answer their questions. and we try to help them as best we can.
So for those of you who want to check them out, the information is posted directly below this video here on YouTube in the video description, and I make it easy. It's right up top, and not only do I do that, but it's also in the comments. It'll be pinned at the very top in the comments so you can find it quickly and easily. I encourage you to check them out because we do need to get prepared for what is coming. And we need to think about these things because the next economy crash that is predicted is supposed to be really, really bad from what I understand. Is that not correct?
Well, it's kind of like David and Goliath. There's a really far amount that it can fall, because if you look at the Dow and the stock market where it's at, it's never been this high. So for it to pull back, if it were to pull back from when Obama got elected in 2008, I mean, that would be like almost a 70% drop, which would be horrific. And I hope that doesn't happen. That would be horrible. But that's what I mean, is it's gone up so much higher than what we've ever seen. Even a 40% pullback would be still the prices of stocks and bonds would be much higher than what we've seen in the past. So it really has a far way to fall, unfortunately. And, that's why, people are calling us. And I think people right now are getting their taxes and they're getting everything settled. But once that's done, I think they're going to start to look around and say, hey, I got to look at these accounts. I got to make sure I'm protected. So yeah, I do think that the correction could be a lot worse than what we've seen in the past.
So everyone listening, again, I encourage you to click on the link that'll be in the video description as well as in the comments pinned at the very top, and check them out. And if you have any questions, there is a number you can call, and there's also a place that you can email them from. And do you just want to go ahead and give out that number they can call anyways?
Yeah. The number, Lynn, it's 877-646-5347. Also, our phone lines are open 24 hours, so there's always somebody live to pick up the phone. So anytime someone's watching this video, even if it's after hours or the weekend, they can call in. And if someone's not available, we'll call them back during business hours. So 877-646-5347, and we'd be happy to help them. We have tons of free information. We have a gold and silver guide. We have a inflation guide, all types of free information that we'd be happy to send out.
Thank you very much. And also I have to ask, because I did receive an email from someone since we did our last show, and they asked how Charles is doing. They wanted to know how Charles was doing because they hadn't seen him. So how is Charles doing?
Charles is doing very well. We've been, growing a little bit. So he's been in and out of town. So I've tried to step in here and do the best I can with you. And he's doing great. He's a great guy. And everything is good here over at Noble Gold. Thank you.
Also, I did want to mention that you and I, as I said earlier, we were talking about the upcoming revival that God has me organizing. And I just want to thank you for your kind offer that you as a company are going to help support this revival, because we're not charging anyone for it. This is a free event. God doesn't want us to charge anyone for this revival. He wants people to come, and he wants people to experience the presence and the anointing of his Holy Spirit. And everyone should be able to attend something and not have to pay anything. But it is costing those of us who are doing this, because we finally we have a convention center and it's going to be really expensive. It's going to cost us a lot of money. We're doing this out of pocket. And so I was telling you about that. And as I was telling you, you said that you guys are going to help support what I'm doing financially so I can get this done. And I just want to publicly thank you for that. And I want people to know that. And I really genuinely appreciate that you guys would feel so moved as to help support what God is doing in Gary, Indiana this year.
Absolutely, Lynn. We're happy to do it. I'm excited about it, and I think it's going to be a beautiful event. And Noble Gold is happy to do it. And I haven't talked to Charles about it, but I don't even need to talk to Charles about it. We're in support of you, and so it's our pleasure.
Well, praise the Lord, and thank you so much. And please tell Charles I said thank you. And I'm sure that all of my subscribers and listeners who are excited about this I'm sure they also appreciate it, and they're just hungry for this. They can't wait. So
Absolutely.
it's just awesome that you're helping to support this, and God bless you guys for that. It
God
really
bless you too.
means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it.
Well, before we end, did you have any final comments or thoughts you would like to share with the people?
No, I think we said it all. I think it's important to be protected, to make sure that you take a look at your finances. A good time with tax time to reevaluate and make sure you're diversified. And if we can help in any way, we'd be happy to do it, and love to answer anyone's questions if they call in.
Well, thank you so much, and God bless you, and God bless Charles, and God bless Noble Gold. I pray for you guys all the time and just appreciate everything you do.
God bless you too, Lynn. Thank you.
Thank you. And for those of you who have been watching, make sure you click the link below the video in the video description and in the comments. Thanks so much, and God bless all of you out there listening. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to Lynn Liaz here on YouTube. Thanks again. God bless.